Hi everyone! Welcome back to Sydney and Starlette, and if you are new here, welcome! Enjoy the videos! So today, me and Sydney are going to be reading Owen and Mzee, The Language of Friendship. So let's get started. Sequel to the New York Times best-selling true story of Owen and Mzee. Sydney has had this book since she was a toddler. Let's read it. In a special place in Kenya lived two great friends, a young hippopotamus named Owen and a 330-year-old giant tortoise named Mzee. No one guessed that they would become friends or that they would become famous around the world, and no one expected that their friendship would last so long. But the story of Owen and Mzee has always been full of surprises. Here is the true story of their first remarkable year and a half together. Wow, what is this? Hippopotamus, what's this? Turtle. It's a tortoise. Turtle, tortoise, same thing, I guess. When Owen was a baby, he lived with his mother in a pod with about 20 other hippos. Their home was the Sabaki River in Kenya. But when Owen was about 1 year old, his life changed forever. That December, the river flooded and the hippopod was washed down the river mouth near the coastal village of Malindi. That is where the hippos were on the morning of December 26, 2004, when the surging waves of a powerful tsunami struck. Afterwards, only one hippopotamus could be seen, the baby hippo who came to be known as Owen. Hundreds of villagers and visitors worked all day to rescue Owen from the coral reef on which he was stranded. Owen was only about 2 feet tall, but he weighed a solid 600 pounds. The seawater made him very slippery. Owen wasn't used to people, and out of fear and anger, he tried to escape from anyone who came near. Finally, a courageous visitor named Owen Sobian tackled the baby hippo, giving the others just enough time to secure him with a net. The joyous crowd named the hippo Owen in honor of this brave man. How sweet! Owen was stranded on a coral reef and couldn't reach the shore. But that is sad. That's the hippo stuck in the coral. Hippo! Many hours later, after a long, jolting ride in the back of a truck, Owen arrived at what became his new home, a lush wildlife sanctuary called Harler Park, which was developed on the site of a restored limestone quarry. The park workers, including Dr. Pola Kahambu, the manager, Sabine Bear ecologist, and Stephen Toy, the chief animal caretaker, thought carefully about where in the park Owen should go. 3 full-grown hippos already lived at Holler Park, but hippos often attack other hippos they don't know, and young Owen might be in danger if he were placed with them. Instead, they chose an enclosure, or boma, where smaller, gentler animals lived. Bush bucks vervet monkeys, and a few Aldabra tortoises. One of those tortoises was a grumpy 130-year-old male named Mzee. Mzee was always known as a loner. That was about to change. Turtle. It was late at night when Owen was finally set free into Boma. No one could believe what happened next. Owen scrambled straight across the clearing to Mzee and crouched down beside him. Mzee seemed annoyed and crawled away, but Owen followed. The next morning, Owen and Mzee were found snuggled up against each other. Their extraordinary friendship had begun. At first, Dr. Paula, Sabine, and Stephen doubted that the bond between this baby hippo and giant tortoise would last. They expected Owen would soon realize that his new parent was not a hippo at all, and this is virtually unheard of for a reptile such as Mzee to form any attachments with another animal, especially a mammal such as Owen. But nothing turned out the way anyone expected. During the first days after Owen's rescue, his caretakers were worried because Owen wasn't eating the leaves that Stephen left out for him. Still a nursing baby, Owen hadn't learned yet how to forage for grass. Then they noticed that Mzee seemed to be showing Owen what to do. Before long, Owen was chewing on a few leaves too. The bond between Owen and Mzee was almost immediate and a surprise to everyone. Hippo, that's a turtle. It's a tortoise. Yeah, she remembered this book. Yeah, this is Owen and this is Mzee. Owen? That's a hippo, but the name that they gave him is Owen. Can you say Owen? Mzee. Hippo? Tortoise.
Yes.
Sorry. As the weeks went on, everyone watched in wonder as Owen and Mzee spent more and more time together. They wallowed in the pond together, ate together, and slept side by side. Mzee's companionship seemed to be helping Owen heal from the trauma of his difficult experiences. News of this astonishing friendship spread quickly around the world. People flocked to Holler Park to see Owen and Mzee for themselves. Those who couldn't travel to Kenya read about them in books, in news stories, and on the internet. Owen and Mzee were beloved stars. Now, a year and a half later, their friendship is stronger than ever. Their bond has developed beyond what anyone has ever seen between two such different animals. To the workers who observed them every day, Owen and Mzee clearly seem to have true affection for each other. They often see Owen looking in Mzee's face, or Mzee resting his head on Owen's broad belly. They seem happiest when they are together. When Owen first arrived, he depended on Mzee for a sense of security. Turtle, hippo. Turtle, hippo. They're friends. The two friends share every meal. Like any friendship, theirs has changed over time. At first, Owen was easily frightened and often scurried behind Mzee for safety. Now Owen is a bit more independent, running through the brush on his own and splashing noisily as he flips himself around the pond. He has also become very protective of Mzee. Owen is still deeply suspicious of people, and when workers or visitors come too close to Mzee, Owen may snort or open his jaws wide in a threatening yawn. Once, he even chased Dr. Paula and Sabine out of the Boma. However, though Owen is quite a bit larger than Maisie, the old tortoise is clearly the one in charge. Owen watches Maisie closely, raising his head when Maisie raises his head, eating what Maisie eats when Maisie eats. Maisie sets the pace as they wander the grounds together. Even though a tortoise moves much slower than a hippo, Owen will either plod along with Maisie or walk ahead a few steps at his own speed and wait for him to catch up. Owen is bigger now, but he still lets Maisie take the lead. Okay, so this is Maisie. Maisie?
Yuck.
Yes, that's a turtle. You could just say turtle. Turtle?
Yuck.
Hippo.
Hippo.
Hippo. Owen is protective of Maisie. He opens his open mouth means stay away. Oh my goodness. Maisie can be rather bossy. One day, when the two of them were feeding together, Owen finished eating first and he went into the pond. But it seems Maisie wanted Owen to wait. Maisie followed Owen into the pond and pushed him toward the shore until Owen got out. Then Maisie returned to his meal. When Maisie finished, Owen followed as Maisie led the way into the water. But most of the time, Maisie, whose name in the Swahili language means wise old man, is like a gentle guardian to Owen. When Owen is upset by people or noise and prepares to charge, Maisie often blocks Owen's way and calmly holds him off as if reassuring Owen that there is no need for alarm. This is the kind, wise guidance that Owen's mother or father would have given him. No one knows why Maisie, a reptile, without the instincts to nurture another animal, is able and willing to nurture Owen. But clearly he is. Even in the water, Maisie often leads and Owen follows.
Yeah.
Turtle.
Hippo.
Hippo. All right. They have even developed their own way of communicating. When Maisie wants Owen to walk with him, he will gently nip Owen's tail with his sharp beak. When Owen wants Maisie to move, he will nudge Maisie's feet to direct Maisie to the right. He will nudge Maisie's back right foot. To direct him to the left, he will nudge Maisie's back left foot. If Maisie doesn't respond right away, Owen may squeeze Maisie's foot between his teeth until he starts to move, but neither ever hurts each other. Even more remarkably, Owen and Maisie seem to have developed their own language of sounds. At times, one of them will make a soft, deep, rumbling sound, and the other will repeat. They call quickly back and forth to each other this way for hours. The sound is not one that either hippos or tortoises usually make. This seems to be an original form of communication that has grown out of their special bond. This is the language of their friendship. Maisie is about to give Owen's tail a nip. Time to get moving. Oh my goodness. Oh, so I guess this is Owen trying to tell Maisie where to go? How funny. Hippo.
Coyote.
Turtle. Only once have Owen and Maisie spent more than a day apart, and that was for 2 weeks when Maisie needed veterinary treatment. A crack in Maisie's shell had become infected, and when the wildlife veterinarian, Dr. Kashmiri, tried to examine Maisie, Owen became very protective and began to charge at him. So Maisie was moved to a smaller enclosure where Dr. Kashmiri could safely treat him. For the first few days without Maisie, Owen wandered restlessly around the boma all alone, or boma. Then he became curious about a small Aldabra tortoise in the enclosure, Toto. At first, Toto, whose name means little, can you say little? Little.
Yeah.
One. In Swahili, crawled away when Owen tried to feed near her or lick her shell. But just as with Maisie, Toto soon accepted Owen's attention, and before long she was joining him for naps and walks around the boma. Owen and Toto have never paid much attention to each other before, but soon the two were nearly always together. Owen had made another friend. Dr. Kashmiri treats a crack on Maisie's shell. Owen made a new friend, little Toto. Can you say Toto?
Dog.
Toto. So this is Toto. This is Toto, not Maisie. This is the new friend the hippo made.
Dog.
Toto.
Hippo.
And a hippo. Yeah. Sorry. Toto joins Owen and Maisie for an afternoon nap. Oh, now I could see the crack really well. I wonder how that happened. But no friend could be as special as Maisie. At last, Maisie's shell healed and he was returned to the boma. Immediately, Owen rushed to Maisie's side. For the next several days, Owen and Maisie stayed close together, and Owen was especially protective. But Owen hadn't forgotten about his new friend Toto. Now Owen, Maisie, and Toto have been a friendly threesome, resting their heads on each other and dozing together during the heat of the day. Hippos are playful, social animals and seem happiest when they are part of a family group, and Owen seems very content within this most unusual family group. But Dr. Paula and the others are concerned that in many ways, Owen is behaving more like a tortoise than a 2-year-old hippo. He eats what Maisie eats rather than what hippos should eat. Though Owen can hear the bellows of the other hippos of Holler Park calling to one another, he never joins in, as if he doesn't know that he too is a hippo. And while hippos are usually active during the cool hours of night, Owen is active during the day when his tortoise friends are awake. Owen's caretakers feel that it's time for him to spend time with other hippos, but it is unlikely that an established pod of hippos would accept him. The caretakers at Holler Park are concerned about Owen. This is hippo. Hippo. Turtle. Turtle. Yeah. So this is Toto, the small one. The small one is Toto. Can you say Toto? And the big one is Maisie.
Maisie's.
And the hippo is named Owen. Can you say Owen?
Owen.
Fortunately, a solution may be very close at hand. For one of the hippos at Holler Park named Cleopatra, Cleo for short, was also rescued as an orphaned baby. Now 13 years old and almost fully grown, she lives on her own and seems lonely for another hippopotamus to play with. Working closely with the hippos. Dogs, threw off my groove. Working closely with hippo experts, around the world, Dr. Paula and the others are making careful plans to introduce Owen and Cleo. If they accept each other, they'll be moved to a large new boma where they can live together as friends. Ideally, Maisie will not be moved along with Owen, but it's not clear whether this would be best for Maisie. Owen is already twice the size of Maisie. When Owen is full grown in 5 to 10 years, he will weigh about 7,000 pounds. Oh my God, 7,000 pounds in 5 to 10 years. Owen could hurt Maisie very badly without intending to, even if Maisie's shell weren't already damaged. In fact, some of Maisie's old injuries are the result of another young hippo's boisterous play. No one wants to separate these two great friends, and Dr. Paula and the others wonder how a separation might affect Owen. Would it seem to Owen as if he were losing his family once again? Owen gets ready for a day of play, a time when most hippos are resting. Hippos!
Bubbles.
Hippos! I don't know if these are the same hippo or if one is Cleo. I don't know. I think this is Cleo, but I'm not sure. They might both be Mzee, or they might both be Cleo. I don't know. If at all possible, Owen and Mzee will be kept together. Everyone hopes that Owen and Cleo, Mzee, and maybe little Toto will live happily together for many years. But only time will tell. No matter how things turn out, the story of their friendship will always remind the world that when you need a friend, one will be there for you, and that the best friends come in all colors, shapes, and sizes. And so continues the true story of Owen and Mzee and their enduring friendship. Owen and Mzee, a friendship like no other. Turtle? What is this? She doesn't know what it is because she just sees the butt of the hippo. This is the hippo and this is the turtle.
Hippo.
Hippo. Alright, more about Kenya. The country of Kenya sits on the equator on the eastern coast of Africa. Most Kenyans speak Swahili as well as their own traditional tribal language. Mzee is a Swahili word meaning elder or wise old man. And Malindi is a small town on the other coast of the Indian Ocean. Many residents are fishermen. Malindi is known for its beautiful beaches and coral reefs, and thousands of visitors stay in its hotels. Many visitors took part in Owen's rescue. The small coastal city of Mombasa is about 50 miles south of Malindi.
What yuck?
What? What did you point at? I was looking at this. What did you point at?
Yuck.
This is Kenya, and then Madagascar, Africa, and it's a whole bunch of places packed in one place. Owen. At 2 years old, Owen is still a baby hippopotamus. He would have been dependent on his mother until he was about 4 years old. When he is full grown, he will weigh much as 3.5 tons or 7,000 pounds. In the wild, hippos live up to 40 years. In safety of Holler Park, Owen may live 60 years. Hippos live in and around rivers and lakes in much of Africa. During the day, they often lie on the riverbank, dozing in a hot sun. Their skin turns red as special glands ooze a thick liquid that protects their skin from sunburn. But most of the day is spent in the water, where they stay cool and escape biting flies. Hippos are agile in the water, but their bodies are so dense that they aren't able to swim or float. At night, when they are more active, they roam the bush on well-worn paths, feeding on grasses, leaves, and fruits. Hippos like to live in groups, and when young, they are very playful, but all hippos are extremely dangerous when angry or surprised, and their temper is unpredictable. Owen, along with all the wild animals at Holler Park, is much loved, but the workers know they must always be cautious around him. Due to hunting and continual habitat loss, the hippopotamus has become an endangered species. Hippopotamus.
Mummies.
And this is about Maisie. Can you say Maisie?
Mzee.
It's Maisie.
Mzee.
Maisie is an algebra tortoise, the largest species of tortoise in the world, and originally from the Algebra Islands in the Indian Ocean. Maisie is about 4 feet long, which is average for an adult. At around 130 years of age, Maisie is middle-aged. He could live another 70 years. A giant algebra tortoise is only 2.5 inches long when it hatches. Like all reptiles, it can survive on its own from its first day. An algebra tortoise defends itself by withdrawing into its tough, protective shell, and by using the claw-like spore on its tail or biting with its strong scissor-like beak. Tortoises are cold-blooded and so are active during the day. They eat grasses, leaves, and fallen fruits, but will sometimes eat the meat of dead animals. The algebra tortoise is one of the few species of tortoise that is comfortable in water as on land. It is common in zoos, but rarely reproduces there. In its original habitat, it is endangered and at risk of extinction. Maisie came to Holler Park after being a pet for several generations of one family. Before that, no one knows Maisie came to Africa from its birthplace. Many algebra tortoises are taken for food by crews of sailing ships. Perhaps he was released or escaped during one. The frequent ships. Perhaps he was released or escaped during one of the frequent shipwrecks in that area. Maisie was born in 1860s. It is amazing to consider how the world has changed during his lifetime. Holler Park. Even before Owen came to live, Holler Park was a very special place. It was named after Dr. Reen Holler, who pioneered quarry rehabilitation for Banbury Cement Ltd. His commitment to restore the environment has transformed old limestone quarries into ecologist diverse habitats and ecosystems. Holler Park, which opened to the public 22 years ago, was his first project. Now, through Dr. Holler's methods, numerous quarries have been rehabilitated throughout the world. What is that called? Forget what it's called. Is it? No, it's not an elk. Is it an elk? I forget what it's called. But that's a hippo. And those are birds. Hippo. That's a turtle. Over 10 years' time, barren, lifeless quarries are transformed into tropical forests. The new forests attract hundreds of kinds of animals, from antelope, I think the other animals call it antelope, and the butterflies and the bush babies and the snakes and other animals that have often been driven from their former habitats by human population growth. Most of the animals at Holler Park make their own way there, but from the start, the park has been a haven for animals that are orphaned or for some reason cannot be returned to the wild. Maisie was the first to come when the family which had cared for him for several generations could no longer keep him. The hippo, Cleo, had been hand-raised by a family who found her orphaned in the wild when still a young baby. When Cleo outgrew their home, they found a new home for her at Holler Park. 2 other hippos were rescued from a traveling zoo in Germany. Aside from developing and caring for the specially created what is happening? Aside from developing and caring for this created environment, the workers at Holler Park are dedicated to educating people about ecology and the interdependence of animals, plants, and humans. Visit the Holler Park website to learn about Holler Park and their programs to find out how you can help. Owen and Mzee and the tsunami of December 2004. Owen was found stranded the day after a devastating tsunami that occurred in eastern Indian Ocean on December 26, 2004. The towering waves of tsunami were caused by massive earthquakes under the ocean floor near Indonesia. More than 175 people lost their lives. The whole towns were destroyed. By the time the tsunami traveled 4,000 miles to the shore of Kenya, the waves had lost much of their force and damage there was less severe. But the whole world was shocked and saddened by the news of this disaster. The story of Owen's rescue and friendship with Mzee filled people everywhere with hope. It reminds us still that even though terrible, unpredictable things happen, the power of courage, love, can you say love?
Yuck.
And the preciousness of life will prevail. The
Yuck.
end.
And
So that is it for today's video, everyone. I really hope you all enjoyed it, and we will see you all next time. Bye-bye.
bye-bye.
And this is where Sydney points at her favorite page of the book. Oh, is this the one you picked?
Yuck.
Turtle.